All right, so here we go. Handling objections. I am going to screen share. I can figure out how to do that now because it should be at the top. Let's see, where's the screen share?
I love you, Bethany.
Good night, Bethany. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. You see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So, first thing a lot of coaches have to handle is the objection of your spouse or your partner or your family. So this is the big one. This is the hardest. Your family is the hardest people. I'm going to tell you that right now, or at least mine are the hardest. I love them, but they also want to protect you, and they want to protect you from anything that might be, a scam or something like that, that they are kind of leery of things because there are so many things out there that, are the new next best thing. And if they aren't familiar with Beachbody, then, or they have heard of other people or other people's experience, they may be not all in, right? Like you are. So, and that's really common. So don't worry. And my spouse, luckily, is all in, and he is very supportive, and he's always been that way. But I will tell you that there are times where it does cause a problem. Where I'm on a call and, the kids are needing to go to bed and he's doing it, and it's frustrating. It happens. It happens to everyone. So just know that going in. Any relationship, it's going to have some give and a little go, right? So here's an example of a conversation that you might have with someone that your group is very supportive, and even if your spouse or your significant other isn't as supportive, then your community of people will be there. So here is that my husband thinks it's a scam and wants me to do it on my own. So you can say back to them, like, the community is really supportive. I promise it's not a scam. We hold each other accountable and all that. Can you see it, Jen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just have to scoot forward.
Okay. So, and so that is just it. Like, we won't let you let yourself down. Or come here. If you want to talk to me, come here. And that's what really it's all about, whether it's coaching or a challenge pack, that it's really the community that makes that's secret. There's not a scam. It's not a scam. This is the secret to why people are so successful, is the accountability. And even getting on a call where, I know Kelly's on the couch, you can talk to them or maybe address some of the concerns that their spouse may have. That also helps, or asking what they really are, their fears are, and just kind of handling them. And one of the biggest things I've learned lately is a lot of times when you're handling objections or you're going somewhere, like we have Mother's Day coming up. So you're going to go to your family event and maybe there'll be a big spread, or you go out for breakfast and everyone has biscuits and gravy and bacon and sausage and cinnamon rolls and all this stuff. And maybe you're sitting there with a plate with like some fruit and some eggs and maybe a piece of toast. And people are like, really, that's all you're going to eat? Yes. And so knowing what you're going to say before that objection comes out, that talk, because it's going to happen. I've done this enough and long enough, it's going to happen. But to say, you know what, yes, this is the way I'm eating now, or this is my group of people that I hang out with, or whatever the objection is. And for me to stay on track with my goals and what I want, this is my plan for me. So to already kind of have what you want to say in place before they can even object it. So you're squashing that before they even come at you with it. Another thing, especially when you're talking about challenge groups, I get this a lot. And especially with single people or people who live in bigger cities that maybe live in an apartment, or, you're a college student, or maybe you just don't have a lot of room. Maybe there's toys galore. And so for me, like, I share pictures of, I used to dance around, work out with Cora and an exerciser next to me, that it can totally be done in your living room and you don't have to have a lot of space. That's the beauty of these programs. So here's just an example, like I would, but I'm renting a room and from my in-laws. So we're just staying there temporarily before we move, and we just don't have a lot of space. Say, I get that. I don't have a lot of space either, but I just tell them, like, I've worked in hotel rooms, especially. I know a lot of us on the team travel a lot. Like Ashley travels all the time, and she's constantly sharing, like, I worked out in my hotel room. I've worked out in a hotel room. I've worked out in a hallway. And just, again, knowing that you can do a lot of the workouts with limited space, that you don't have to have a lot of space or even equipment to do these programs. That you can do it in a chaotic living room filled with toys and a dog and your kids next to you. And, that really is kind of why these programs work, that you include your family and it's there and they're seeing it, and that hopefully that they will help you stay on track for your journey. Oh, that's me. That was a picture of me. How to tackle objections about money. So I would say that this is number one. Would you agree?
Yeah.
This is number one. This is the number one objection. And you tell them everything and you lay it all out there. Like, they get a crazy deal. I mean, really, you get an entire year of workouts for like 10 cents a day. But okay. And you get 30 meals, and you get the program, and you get all this. And I can be your coach forever. I'm your personal cheerleader and your stalker for life now. So you lay it all out there, and you talk to them and you build it all up, and they're like, yes, I want to do this. And at the very end, you tell them, and it's $180 or $200, and you get a nutrition guide for how to live your life and eat. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, that's awesome, but I can't afford this. Like, oh, I have this, and I don't have very much money, and we're on limited budget. Yeah, I get that. I totally understand. And that is part of why I do this, because even doing Planet Fitness, you're still waiting for equipment. It's still $10 a month with the minimum membership. You can't really bring anybody else with you. You can have your significant other, or you don't even have to leave and pay for a babysitter. So, and then when you really break down the value with them, like in the next comment, they can see, and it's a 30-day money back guarantee. But sometimes they still are like, well, I think I just waste my money. And you're like, that's fine. I get it. One of the other things I do is I offer them a free group and say, try my free group at first. So even if it's, eliminating that objection and saying, I get it. Why don't you try this free group? Or you could try out the Clean Week for $39 and you ask for a little instead of this bigger thing, and say, see how you like it. I get it. I know it's scary. It's new, and people, I'm afraid to try new things and not like it. But you get to try it for over a week, and you get to try the shakes, and you'll see you feel so good. And hopefully that helps with the money objection. And then, of course, like saying it's on sale. And then if they really don't want to do it, and say, I get it. You know, can I check back with you on my next group? And so that still leaves the door open that you can come back and talk to them again. You know, I really want, and I just tell them, like, I really want to help you and I want you to be a part of this. And I make it about them and not about, you know, my own goals or the money. That it is about them. It's about helping the person on the other side of that. So if you come at it with that, and I really started using the voice message because they can hear your voice, and that is so powerful instead of just reading a text, which they might not be able to read it or listen to it right away because they're at work. But when they do, it will come off more genuine. And at first it was awkward to do the voice text, but it does get easier. What? You like my pen? It writes in pink too. Okay. And then some objections that you might find for coaching. For me, it's not this, I'm too shy, I don't think I'd be very good at it, which I have been told that, but shy coaches do really well. And I'm actually kind of an introvert. Like, I like being a hermit. I like being at home. I don't really like leaving my house. So the good and the bad is that I can work from home. I can work wherever I am. And just to tell someone that, you know, this puts a little buffer, even if you are shy, that you don't have to see the other person's face when you're talking to them, instead of if you were, you know, selling something on the other end of a perfume counter or doing makeup or going into someone's house and selling them jewelry. Like, there is a little bit of space. So if you're shy, that's okay. That is the hardest part. But you'll start with your friends and family and the people closest to you, and you'll gain confidence as you go. Oftentimes, though, I get the time objection, or I'm not like you. I can't be like you. Well, and I say, I get that, and I don't want you to be, because you are you and I'm me. So, no one can tell you how to run your business and how much time you want to spend on your business. That's totally up to you. But you could help 2 to 3 people a month, and you could do that at your own pace and set your own schedule. And that it comes, your level of coaching and experience comes with, like anything, it comes with time and practice, and you know how much time you really want to dedicate to this, and that's up to you how much you want to spend. You could spend 10 minutes a day, you could spend 2 hours a day, you could spend 4 hours a day, but whatever you put into it, you will more than likely get out of it. And so just taking that pressure off. And then a lot of times I talk about the discount because they're already using the programs and the shakes or the performance line, and they would get a huge discount. So why not do that? And when you're ready, we can talk about how to build your business then. And that is a little bit more comfortable for people, and they'll be using the products and loving them and then seeing their good results, and people will start asking them how and what they're doing, and they will grow organically from that. And that's it. That's all I have. Ooh, I'm gonna stop the share. You're all in the dark. So.
Oh, I know, because sorry.
That's here. Okay. You don't have to turn your light. You don't have to turn your light on.
It did get dark in here.
Do you feel like those are really valid objections? Like, those are the big ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see you.
That's okay. Do you have any to add, like that
so
you say, or how you handle them?
Yeah, I mean, for people who are like iffy on it, I kind of just go back into sharing a little bit about how I tried other things in the past and felt like I wasted my money, but I didn't have, again, going back to the community and network that I have now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have people who talk about, well, I can't get up in the morning. And I'm like, well, I was that way too.
That's that way too.
And, I talk to them about my accountability calls and my check-ins that I do with people on a regular basis until they kind of develop that habit a little bit more on their own, and I give them a little more freedom. So I kind of talk about all of the various, parts in trying to, one, help them feel that I value their struggle or issue, and I get it, because I do typically.
Right.
And, can help them have an alternative path for them to get where they want to go. So,
I like
and
that.
sometimes they still say no, and that's okay. But again, I always say, well, is it okay if I check back up with you in however many months, or at the end of the summer, or after whatever event it is that they feel like they need more time? And they always say yes. I've never had anybody tell me no.
I've never had anyone tell me no either.
So.
And I like using words like, are you interested? I would love to, because people always want to be can I include you in my next group or in my next message? Because people want to be included, and they want to be interested and interesting. And like,
my name.
You did do your name. That's very good. They want verbal affirmations and love, and to have someone care about them who is maybe outside their circle too. So I know it's hard. It's so hard to hear no, 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 no.
Yeah.
But think about when you hear no, that you're one no away from yes. Because meaning like they're only going to say no so many times before they say yes or leave me alone. Right? So, I mean, that's the truth. Like, and, and going back to, we've heard this how many times, like, how many times did it take for your coach to ask you to do it? Some of us, are the golden customer. We're like, yeah, let's do it. Like me, I'm like, oh, you have a discount? It's on sale? Super, sign me up. But not everyone is like that. Everyone else is kind of like, oh, no. But, someone told me like, well, that helps me out. Like, oh, all right. Well, helps you out and I get a discount. Super. Great. But most people aren't that way. So how many times did it take for you to be invited to a workout, to a sneak peek, to a challenge group, or even just to respond back to your coach? One of my good coaching friends, Jamie Simpson, actually blocked Christina for a while. Like she's her coach, and Jamie's like a 3 or 4, maybe she's a 5-star. I don't know, but she's an awesome coach, and she blocked Christina Solons for a while because she couldn't take, she was like, I don't know, this girl is crazy. And then she finally came back and was like, okay, I've gained 20 pounds. I need help. And you look awesome. So what do you have? And sometimes it's just those moments that you're just lucky enough to find a really good person and a good coach,
Yeah.
So, and if it's so scary on your heart to talk to this person and you keep thinking about it, that's the person you need to talk to. I just sent another one of those messages today. It's one of my good friends who is a collegiate coach who is athletic, and she reached out to me and said, I need help with my own fitness. And she loves Beachbody programs. Her and her husband do them together now. And she left the door open and said, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with this life. What do I really want out of life? And I was scared, but I said, I really think this would be a good fit for you. I think you're awesome. And I've told you that before. It might be something to think of. You could really change people's lives. She hasn't written back, but she hasn't said no. So And then I'll wait a couple days and I'll say, hey, did you see my message? I love you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, sometimes the scary things are the best things. I mean, look.
Yeah.
Having babies are the best things. It's kind of scary sometimes. And parenting is hard, but so is coaching. It's kind of like parenting. So, but that's all I have today. So I would challenge everyone to send out 11 invites. 11 people. Start a conversation. So an invite being someone you haven't talked to, or maybe someone you need to follow up with, and write them all down so you can keep track of it, whether it's on your Beachbody tracker that they came out with this year, or I have a notebook that I keep everyone in there. Send a message to 11 people in 11 minutes. So set your phone, set a timer, and I want you to do 11 and 11. And at least twice a week, start doing that. And you'll have people start talking back to you, and just message them. Keep it casual. And then say, hey, I have this free group, or my coach is running this free group. Would you like to be a part of it? Because that is a non-threatening ask. And they'd go, yeah, I could use a meal plan. That sounds great. And that opens a door. So every question is going to open a door to a new possibility that you might be able to really help somebody. And at the end of that week, say, hey, you're doing amazing. Do you want to continue this and get some killer results? I'm starting this new program. I need support. So flip it and say, I need support and accountability. And I think we could really help each other stay on track. And when you do that, it takes that off of them and all the pressure that it comes back to you. So you've eliminated some of that objection, like, well, I don't know. But now you're like, I need your help. Okay. But I'm that person that says, okay. So that looks good. Do you have any questions? What do you think? Do you think that's good information? You're not afraid to ask for what you want, are you? She's coloring in my page. So, all right. Well, I'm going to end.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course. Would you like to see what I've so far I'm just kind of playing on my Canva. For shirts. Oh, I got to get out of here. For Summit. Gotta get there. Don't be shocked when you see all my buttons. It's just like my brain. So this is what I had right now. It's not centered. It's not flashy or anything. And so we could do this, and then we could do your team here. Or I was just farting around with Canva. And if anybody else has ideas or anything, I'm open to that. I'm obviously not a graphic designer.
Yeah, isn't that what was on those?
Is that what was on
Super Saturday?
Yeah, it was. Because that's the theme this year.
Oh, is You Belong Here?
Yeah, You Belong. Yeah, that's the theme. So I did make this for myself, but I still got to play around with it. And then it has a heart. I want to put a heart right here. Let's get down, dog. Bio. But yeah.
Let me think about it. I know.
What's that?
I don't know. Let me think about it.
Okay. So everyone would brainstorm on what they want the shirt to look like, because if we want really fancy, then we need to have enough time to have someone make it, because I'm not fancy.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's that. And then Jen, you have your team call. Yeah.
I can't see it.
And then or your team dinner, and I have mine, and then or the big one which will be at
I can't see.
Punch Bowl. Did you already tell your team?
I told Carrie,
Okay.
I think.
So at Summit, usually we try and plan some dinners and things. So on Thursday will be the big Dream Extreme party, and that's at St. Joseph's. It's not in the brewery. It'll be in the same place it was last year, I would imagine. And the theme is red, white, and silver, I believe. They haven't really sent out the invite yet.
What time is it though?
It's from 3 to 6. And recognition will be at 3:45. But I want to
That
talk
sucks.
to Mariella because the Jericho workout's at 4.
Yeah. It's
So-
from 4 to 5:30 or something.
Right,
It's like not even doable.
right. So my thought was to do, that's a really long workout for Jericho.
It's long. Yeah. I'm sure there's other like stuff going on, but for whatever reason, or at least that's what I put in my phone.
I wonder if I see, I just thought it'd be like from 4 to 5, and then I would just take all my stuff to the party prior to see if we could do that. But I don't know if how many people would want to do that, and then get dressed there and then just head over to opening. That was my thought, because I try and do all the things. So, but there's that on Thursday evening. If people want to go to that, they have that option if you're not going to the Jericho workout. And then Friday night, I have scheduled dinner for 20 people at Punch Bowl Social. So if you want to be included in the Punch Bowl Social, I need to know so I can have a list to make sure that the people who want to go have a seat.
Okay.
So
It'll be my whole crew.
So I will make an event for that, and then everyone just needs to RSVP. So then too, if I need to make the party bigger, I can, hopefully.
Are you ready?
And then for my personally sponsored, I'm scheduling dinner Saturday. And then Jen's personally sponsored, she's doing a dinner as well. So,
Hey, do you want to stop recording for a second?
yes, I can do that. Okay, thanks for coming on. Enjoy the recording.